Hello, dear Gemini. How are you? Welcome. I hope you are doing very, very well. Gemini, let's see how the energies available to you right now. So you can use them to your advantage and see a situation from a new point of view. NSE node. This reading is general. Take what resonates with you, and it applies to all those who have their sun, ascendant, moon, or Venus in the sign of Gemini. Gemini, if you need a personal consultation with me, you can write to the email shown on the screen, and I will send you all the information you need. I wanted to send greetings to all the Geminis who are celebrating their birthdays. A very, very happy birthday. Welcome to this new year. All right, let's channel a message. For the sign of Gemini, let's see, Gemini. This starts with the Three of Swords, the Three of Wands, the Nine of Swords. Let's see what's going on here. The World, the Hierophant, the Five of Wands, the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, the High Priestess, and over here we have the Seven of Pentacles in your bottom of the deck energy. Wow, Gemini. I see that in general, you are going through a process of mental and emotional transformation. Really very, very, very important. Because I see that there's growth, there's a test. Maybe you've gone through an important test, right? But there's also wisdom, and there's something that ends. But let's start analyzing with your underlying energy, which gives us a bit of a key to this reading, because it tells us that you are in a moment of evaluation, okay? I feel that right now you might feel, right, that, hey, I've invested a lot of effort in this. It could be in a relationship, it could be in a stage of your life, it could be in a project, in a job, right? That the results are taking a little longer than expected. Or maybe you're in a situation where you need to take another look if the path you chose is the right one for you. Or maybe I'm still waiting for an answer. Okay, so what the energy is telling you is that it's asking you that question, right? Like, hey, is it worth continuing to invest energy here? Whether it's financial energy, financial investment, or emotional investment, it could be. That's why the whole reading is there, kind of revolving around a review of your life, of your whole life. We started your reading by looking a bit at your inner state. You're coming from a place of hurt, and it could be that you've been through a situation that has left a mark on you. It could be an emotional mark, right? If there were words that hurt, if there was some disappointment, some disillusionment, right? I mean, this isn't necessarily something recent, but it could be that in some cases, yes, this might still be lingering there, right? Like it keeps resonating. But what happens? After this situation, which is a bit complicated, there's a need to start looking forward, right? That you start to look toward new horizons, start to plan your future, right? Start to connect with your expectations. It's like you don't want to keep looking at what happened or keep holding on to that situation that might have hurt you. So you want to discover what's next. Descubrir qué es lo que viene después. Right? However, it is true that there are a few repetitive thoughts and some anxiety here. Sometimes they can be fears or worries. I feel like your mind right now, Gemini, is really going full speed. It's working overtime. A lot of thoughts, one after another. Now, what happens? Remember that with this energy, many times Let's see. Scenarios are shown that the mind constructs, and sometimes they're bigger than what actually happened. What is this energy telling you? I feel like there's a Gemini here who's trying to move forward. But yes, there are still wounds and worries that need to be processed. So be patient with this. If we go to the center of your reading, we find, I feel like there's a great evolution there. Why? Because you are at a moment of closing a cycle. And this has to do with finishing something important in your life, an evolution to a new stage, right? It could be an achievement. But right now you have the feeling that something is reaching its endpoint. And if it's reaching its endpoint, it's because it has already fulfilled its purpose. You have energies here of, hey, I'm starting to find the meaning of this. I understood. Because it's an energy of learning. You are in a moment of maturity. So I think that right now, Gemini, you might start to reconnect with many personal values, family values. Also, start connecting with your teachers, with your guides, and also connect with people who can give you great advice, right? People who can listen to you and teach you. Likewise, maybe start studying something, reading something that opens my mind to this. Now I think about things in a different, new way. Be careful, because this growth doesn't come without tension. Because here, yes, there can be conflicting opinions, right? People who are thinking differently, or challenges that force you to become stronger. So, what's going on? This, I feel, is a necessary test so that you can consolidate a new version of yourself. Because what's happening here is about that. It's the new version of you, which is starting to appear or is about to be born. So it seems to me, Gemini, that you are closing a very important chapter in your life and that you are learning something about yourself. But how? Through challenges and through confrontations. Let's continue to the end of your reading. They are very, very powerful energies, also very feminine. You're starting here with energy, which has to do precisely with charisma, right? This is coming your way. Confidence, magnetism, right? Leadership. This energy is telling you, hey, Gemini, I know who I am. I don't need to prove it to anyone. And I also feel it. How do you recover your personal self? Here, stability appears, right? It's that ability you have to build, right? To take care of what really matters to you, what you feel has value. To also manage your money, your resources. And you're closing this line. What does it have to do with it? I feel like it's a great spiritual guide, which has to do with your inner wisdom, with your intuition. What we have here is hidden knowledge and a deep understanding. So Gemini, the answers won't just come from outside. You're going to have to listen to your inner voice at this moment. So I feel that what we have here is action, stability, and wisdom. Okay. And it's a super powerful combination for you. For you, that's why I feel that, well, I think when it comes to combinations of energies, it tells me you're going through a very important karmic ending. In other words, a stage ends because you've already learned what you needed to learn. And that's important. I'm also seeing that there's desire and there's also a sense of reality. And you also have the ability to balance passion and stability. That's important. But what I also see, an important part of those trials you've gone through, right, that may have caused anxiety or wounds, they're still there taking up space in your mind, right? There's space. Eh? Look, healing will come from that situation when you stop constantly reliving what already happened. No, no, don't go back to thinking about it, to visualizing it again, right? Because otherwise, the wound comes back and gets bigger. So it seems to me that the general energy of this moment is who is leaving behind a difficult stage to step into a new version of yourself, one that is much more mature and self-aware. You'll overcome those emotional wounds. You are having really deep lessons right now. And also get ready to regain that self-confidence. I understand that the main challenge, you know what it is? It's your mind. It's your mind. Because it has to do with what's going on inside there, right? Sometimes this is like an internal battle, isn't it? Between fears, worries, wounds, thoughts. How many? Mm. It's true that there can be a bit of impatience with certain results and with certain processes, but everything is already developing. That's why I also say that another challenge at this moment is patience. That stage of pain and confusion ends. Why? Because a much wiser, much more solid, and also much more powerful stage is beginning. What is coming is much more promising for you. Trust the process. The harvest is approaching. Although maybe at this moment you still can't see it completely, but it's coming. Patience. Gemini, let's get to your guidance. Let's see what will be the oracle's message for you at this moment. Gemini, the swan is here. Let's go. The swan brings you grace. It tells you, you who glide over the waters of my soul, bring me your wisdom and light. Help me transform into elegance and grace. Inspire me with dignity and the spirit of beauty. Dear Gemini, this is what we have seen for all of you. Have a beautiful day, and we'll see you around. Next time,